Hey there, this is Erica from Ever Educating. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, this channel is teaching tips, tools, ideas, and resources, so if that interests you, go ahead and subscribe below. But I have a whole tutorial series about Canvas, right, the LMS, how to actually set up your class website with the main tools. So if you're not sure how to do that, you can watch those tutorials below. But today I'm talking about how to make it easy to navigate for you and your students, because it's going to be important that your class website is designed well for everybody involved. And so currently I'm recording this early on in the semester, so I'm going to give you a behind the scenes look, sorry about that, at my Canvas class website, so you can get a sense of, okay, I want to kind of mimic this design. Okay, I think it works really well. I used it this way last semester and there weren't any issues. So let's go ahead and take a look at my class website and I can show you how I design it myself. So to begin, my first recommendation is actually organizing your sidebar. And so you do that in settings, and I'll show you that in a second. But basically here, as you see, I have my front page is my home page with a description of the course and then information on my email address and my office hours and my office and all that. But the next one is the syllabus, right? Because obviously I definitely want them to be able to easily access the syllabus. And after that is attendance, okay? So I'm teaching in hybrid form, and so every day I take attendance, so I can just click on there, and it's really easy to say, okay, you're there, or they got in late, or they didn't attend. So I have the top three there, which is just basic stuff that I want to use because I use it all the time. And then announcements, so anything important that I have to share after class, I put in the announcements, followed by modules. So modules is the most important page on the website, but I don't put it at the top because again, I think it's important to have this stuff really easy to see for students. So it's the next thing, right? So modules, and then discussion, assignments, and quizzes. Now I link the discussions, assignments, and quizzes into the modules, so they don't have to use these tabs, but I do have it organized right underneath for easy access. And then finally, grades. So they can see their grades and they can see their feedback. So that's how I organize it for my students and for myself. So how do you do that? Just to kind of show you, you go to settings, navigation, and then you can just click and move it wherever you want it to appear. And once you do that, so these items don't actually show on the sidebar, so you can move down anything you don't want showing, or then move it up if you want to move it up later on. But once you do that, you go ahead and click save, and it saves the new order of your sidebar tools. So that's the first thing that I really recommend you do when organizing your class website. Now after that, like I said, the most important page for my class are the modules page, okay, is the modules page. And so right here, when you go, the first module has the Zoom links front and center for my students who are exempt and are taking the class online. And then I had these little small activities that they did, so confirming that they found the links. There's a cyber cafe where they can ask for help from their classmates and myself, suggestions on ways of improving the class, resources. This is a writing course, so resources that I found online, like videos and such about, subject verb agreement and grammar and syntax and all that. The MLA guide that we use for every single unit of this class, and then all the resources that I made. So all the slides, all of the Google Docs, all of the videos, they're all listed there. But they're also listed in the modules themselves, right? So this one students don't actually see, but it's the name generator that I use. I have a video on how I create that. The debate generator, again, I have a video on that. And an example that I didn't want them to be able to download themselves, so I just had it there so I can show it in class, but they couldn't actually see it. So I do have this resources that it's private to me, but that it's easy to access as well. And then after that, we have the modules, right? And so I have one module for each week, which I recommend doing to make it much easier for you and your students to find what they need. They just know that they go to the week to find the module of what's happening for classwork and for homework. Right, so that's how I design the overall page. But then if you actually go into the module itself, so I have, for example, a overview video of what's happening that week. And then I have the page that has the classwork and homework descriptions. And then I link the major assignments and discussion posts that are happening that week. But if you go to classwork and homework, you'll see the page. And so what I have here is Tuesday, here's our classwork, and here's our homework, right? And then Thursday, here's our classwork, here's our homework. And so when you do it this way, I go ahead and add links to any of the readings or videos or discussion posts or assignments that they're going to have to watch, read, or do during that week. Okay, so again, how do I structure it? One day and then the next day, and for each one, the classwork and the homework. So again, if a student is absent, they know, okay, I go to module 1, week 1, click the classwork and homework page, and I'll see at least a brief description of what happened in class, what the homework assignment is, and any links that I need to complete the activities. And so it makes it very easy to find what they need throughout the whole semester. Because if you just use, for example, one module throughout, let's say, pre-spring break and post-spring break, that's what, 6-7 weeks on one page. They're going to be scrolling through a lot of information to find their particular week that they're looking for. So it's much easier, in my opinion, to just have one module for each week. As a little extra addition, I also do, so as you see here, Unit 2 was these 3 weeks. So when you open these up, the first link is the assignment sheet for the Unit 2 project on each of these weeks. So that throughout the whole time, they can see, okay, let me actually look again at the assignment sheet. Where can I find it? It's attached to the week that's relevant. So if you do units, then I suggest having the assignment sheet at the top of every single module that connects to that particular activity so that students can easily access it throughout the whole semester. Something else to consider as well, since I link everything in the modules, it's not necessarily needed, but if you go to discussions, one thing you can consider is actually pinning the discussion of the week. And so right here I have the help forum, the suggestions box, and then that first one where they got to know each other pinned. But if you wanted to, you can have, all right, well, in this week we're doing this activity, I'm gonna go ahead and pin it, right? So here you click and you say pin. And so you can have at the top of this page the discussions of that week, right? Or maybe the discussions of that unit so they can see all the related activities tied to that project in particular. So something that you can do here as well if you want to pin and unpin throughout the semester. I didn't use this that often because of my reliance on the modules, but it is that extra tip that can be, it can make the class more user-friendly in that way as well. Now, as far as assignments goes, I link it in the modules, but here as well, I organize it by groups. So I have an introduction project, then Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, a conclusion project, and then the participation. So that's a way to make it weighted in the gradebook, but also for students, it's very easy to see, okay, we're in Unit 1, which one do I have to turn in now, right? We're in Unit 2, here are the 3 things you turned in, right? Participation, let's find it in there. And so again, it makes it easy if you create a group for the assignments. Now I do have, again, a tutorial on how to create assignments, on how to create modules, how to create discussion posts, all of that I'll link below. Again, the whole Canvas tutorial series is linked below in case you need it. If you found this video helpful, do click like and let me know. And again, subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any future teaching tips.